Hi guys, it's Miss Simon. So I wanted to make this video today to help you guys out with science. So we are switching back over to science, remember, because after we do a unit in social studies, we go back over to science, okay? So for science, remember, you should have your notebook with you. You're gonna be taking some notes and a pencil, okay? So you need a notebook and a pencil. Remember, my in-person students, your science color is black, so you should have your black notebook and your pencil, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen with you, and then everything that I highlight, you need to write down in your notes, okay? It's really important that you take notes as we go because you'll be able to use those notes for any quizzes or tests that you take. All right, so our next unit in science is going to be talking about energy in organisms. So go ahead and flip to a brand new page in your notebook, and you can write down at the very top, energy in organisms. Okay, and as we go, if you need more time, feel free to pause the video, write down your notes, and then replay it again. Okay, so when we look at these two words, energy and organisms, I want us to think about what energy is, okay? You've heard the word energy before, I'm sure in like 4th grade, okay? So think of things that might give you energy or the different types of energy you can think of. And then when we're talking about organisms, we're talking about living things. So things like you and I would be an organism, okay? Humans are living things. Animals would be organisms. They are living things. And plants would be organisms as well, okay? Plants are living things. All right, moving on. Okay, so today we're just gonna kind of get introduced to energy, okay, what we know about it, what we've already learned about it, and what exactly energy is. So the next thing in your notes, go ahead and write down energy introduction. All right. So this whole unit is going to be about energy, okay? You've seen the word energy before. You might have an idea of what you think it means, okay? So with energy, okay, I want you guys to think about what you already know about it, okay? What do you already know about energy? If we look at these pictures here, this can kind of give us an idea, okay? We have someone running, okay? Obviously, if you are running and moving, you are using energy, okay? We might not know what that kind of energy is, but we can kind of think about it. This, we see a windmill, that's associated with wind energy, okay? We've talked about that before. And the sun, we know that that goes with solar energy, okay? So specifically, we know a lot of things already about energy. So we're going to be talking about what energy is and how we as people use energy. All right, make sure you have energy down in your notes. All right, so energy is the ability to do work, and all living things need energy to stay alive. So go ahead and write that down. Energy is the ability to do work, and all living things need energy to stay alive. All right, with that being said, okay, that makes sense that we need energy to stay alive. And I'm sure you can think of ways that we actually get our energy and things we do that kind of produces energy, okay? So again, energy is the ability to do work. All right, moving on. Make sure you're writing these highlighted things down in your notebook. All right, so specifically today, we're gonna focus on energy use in animals, okay? So we're gonna look at the different types of energy that we know of, okay, and what they are specifically called. So go ahead in your notes, your next major thing is energy use in animals. So I want us to think, where do we get our energy from? When you think of how you get energy, where would we get our energy from? And how do we get energy? Okay, specifically, why do animals need to eat? Because you guys might have thought of, we get our energy from food, just like animals get their energy from food. So why would animals need to eat? Okay, now let's look at the different types of energy that they are. So earlier, remember, we said that energy is the ability to do work, okay? But what does that mean? There really is a lot of different forms of energy, okay? So all of these different things are hints to tell you what type of energy that is, okay? This chart is very important, okay? You need to make sure you draw this T chart in your notes, okay? One side you can put the hints. Okay, so the one side you're going to put the hint, all of these different hints here, and I'll give you some time to do that. So go ahead, draw this T chart. One side of the T chart is hint, the other side is type of energy. So the energy in food has a certain type of energy. The energy from a ball at the top of a hill has a certain type of energy. Electricity is a certain type of energy. Motion has a name for its energy. Heat has a name for its energy. And a power plant has a name for its energy as well. So write down this T chart, please. You do need to know these types of energies. All right, now let's look at what those types of energies are. So now on the right side of your T chart, okay, go ahead and write these down. Okay, these are the types of energy. So in food, the energy we get from food is called chemical energy, okay? All of that food breaks down into certain chemicals, that's why we call it chemical energy, okay? That ball that's sitting on the top of a hill, we call that potential energy. Because if somebody has potential, that means they can do something, okay? So that ball has the ability by sitting at the top of the hill to start rolling, okay? But it's just not there yet. So we call that potential energy. Electricity is pretty easy. We call that electrical energy, okay? So that you get it from like light sockets and things like that. Actually moving, that motion, okay? When that ball is moving or people are moving, walking, running, all the motion is called kinetic energy. Heat, we call that thermal energy, okay? If we look at the word thermal, we think of thermometer, which measures temperature and heat. So that's an easy way to remember. Anything that's associated with heat is going to be thermal energy. So if we think of a fire is giving off heat, so it's giving off thermal energy. And finally, any type of power plants, okay, that's going to be something nuclear. So that's going to be nuclear energy. All right, so make sure you have these down in your T chart in your notes right next to these hints here. Remember, this is the type of energy. All right, now let's practice, okay? So what is energy? The ability to do work, the ability to make energy, the energy to do work, or all of the above? If you said A, you are correct. The ability to do work. Remember, we just went through that. Make sure you have that down in your notes from before. All right, now we're gonna look at these pictures and we're gonna have to say what type of energy it is based on the T chart that we wrote down. So this picture below shows what? Okay, this picture below shows what? Chemical, potential, electrical, kinetic, thermal, or nuclear, okay? Well, we know these are power lines and they give us electricity. So this is going to be, if you said C, you are correct. This is electrical energy. Next one, okay? This is a fire. So this picture is gonna show what kind of energy. If you said thermal, you are correct. Remember, we talked about fires giving off heat, so it is going to be thermal energy. Next one, this picture below shows what type of energy. This is the energy of motion, people moving. So as we said in that T-chart, what is motion? Motion is what type of energy? If you said kinetic, you are correct. Moving is kinetic energy. All right, let's look at this picture. Okay, some of you guys might not know what this picture is. This is of a plant, okay? This is kind of it's giving off steam, which it means it's like a power plant, a nuclear plant. So if it is a power plant, what kind of energy is that going to be? You said nuclear, you are correct, okay? This is gonna be nuclear energy. All right, this picture shows what type of energy. This is energy in food, okay, that's coming from a salad. So think back to our T-chart. Food comes from what type of energy? If you said chemical, you are correct. It's gonna be chemical energy. All right, so this is this roller coaster, okay? We can kind of think of this as the top of the roller coaster right before you go down. You're sitting, you're about to go, but you're not quite there yet, okay? Think back to that ball sitting at the top of the hill, okay? So that roller coaster at the top is gonna have what kind of energy? If you said potential, you are correct. It has the potential to start moving. It has the potential to start to become kinetic, but it's sitting right there. It's not there yet, so it's potential energy. All right. So that is where we're going to stop for today. Okay, so make sure you complete the Edpuzzle and you turn it in as you go. Okay, make sure you had those notes down in your notebook, and I will see you soon.